Hello everyone, I am Lord Potatoes and this is Weebs and Anime. Thank you for watching. Last time the fight between Yugi and Yuta just started, as they were testing each other. And as the chapter starts, we jumped straight into the fight again. Yuta starts attacking Yugi, and Yugi remarks that normally weapons don't pose much of a threat to him. But because this sword is imbued with a lot of cursed energy, it can cut through his defenses even though he used cursed energy to defend himself. Yugi then performs an impressive maneuver, jumping on a car, then jumping through a car's window, and while being mid-air, he spots a knife and grabs him. Just performing this feat will be really hard for every normal human, but the fact that he managed to spot the knife while being mid-air inside the car and also take it is really crazy. I would failed miserably if I tried to do something similar. Yuta then jumps over the two cars and is surprised to see Yugi with the knife. The fight starts and Yugi closes the gap, tries to fight up close. We cut back to a flashback of Gojo Sensei explaining Yugi that he needs to know how to control his cursed energy before using weapons. Yugi tries to imbue cursed energy to his knife, but it's clear he lacks experience in doing so. He also lacks experience in fighting with a knife or a sword, and Yuta takes advantage of it. The fight is somewhat close until Yuta breaks Yuji's knife and cuts him. After that, Yugi somehow manages to block Yuta's sword with his leg, and with the other leg he kicks and breaks his sword. This is a really impressive feat because we know how strong is Yuta and we know how difficult it would be to break his sword imbued with his cursed energy, and even Yuta acknowledged it. I think up to this point Yugi did pretty well. He started without a weapon and then he was with a weaker weapon and lacked experience using weapons. If the fight were to continue in this way, I think Yugi had a pretty good chance because he knows how to fight barehanded, and it would be interesting to see it, but unfortunately the fight changes from now on. I think it's safe to say that Yugi is getting closer and closer to special grade sorcerer level, and after the fights against the special grades in the Shibuya arc, it's safe to assume that he is at least grade 1 sorcerer. The fight continues and Yugi is about to attack when something holds him down. And of course, it's our beloved Rika, and if you want to know more about Rika, I will explain it in a few more minutes. Yuta doesn't hesitate and stabs Yugi in the chest. We see Sukuna annoyed by that, and then surprised from something, and then he smiles. The obvious prediction is that Sukuna will be involved in the fight in the next chapter, and if he does, he can probably kill Yuta because he doesn't count as Yuji's friend. And we've seen in the past what happens to those who doesn't count as Yuji's friend, and nevertheless I think it can be a really good fight to see and interesting to see who is stronger. If one of them will die it will be more realistic, but it probably won't happen, and I'm still not sure why Sukuna was surprised, and I guess we will find out in the next chapter. For those of you who don't know who Rika is, she is a girl that Yuta knew when he was a kid, and when she died in a car accident, he accidentally turned her into a curse. As a curse, Rika is considered to be one of the strongest, and she defends Yuta throughout his childhood, and in chapter 0 at the end, he figures it out that he was the one that cursed her and releases her in the end. Somehow now she's back, and it will be interesting to see why she's back, and if you want to know more about her, I encourage you to read chapter 0. In the end of the chapter, we cut back to the fight between Naoya and Choso, and it's clear that Choso can't keep up with Naoya's speed. We also see that Naoya has the same technique his father had, that allows him to freeze an enemy in his place like a frame, and it will be interesting to see how Choso will handle it in the future. The chapter ends that way, and next week we will know how the fight between Yuta and Yugi will evolve, and will Sukuna appear, and what will happen between Choso and Naoya. If you enjoyed, please press the like button because it supports us, And for more content like this, please subscribe. I was Loud Potatoes and this is Weebs and Anime. And see you next time.